Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm going to be playing through the just released demo for Prime2D, a fan effort to recreate Metroid Prime, the first one, into a more 2D Metroid format. Now, I'd never heard of this until the other day, but apparently they did a little, joke announcement of the demo on April Fool's, and then the day after they replaced it with an actual serious announcement that it was out. So yeah, this seems like a pretty cool idea. I had no idea they were working on it, but apparently this has been in development for 5 years already. So, I'm looking forward to checking this out. The first Metroid Prime is actually the only one of the Prime games I've played. I've mentioned it to some people before, but my experience with the Metroid series is that I consider myself a fan of the series, I enjoy it, but I haven't played half of the games, so Prime is one of the ones I have played, and I did enjoy it. So I'll see how much of that I can compare here. It's been a long time since I last played it. Distress signal detected, locking in coordinates. I'm curious if this is going to skip over the space station that Prime starts with, for the demo. From what I've heard, though, this also will play distinctly differently from the other 2D Metroid games. For one, because we have free aim with a cursor. I do hope that they don't get into trouble with, god-awful Nintendo for doing this project, though, because Nintendo is obsessed with shutting down fan projects, which is why usually it's smartest not to talk about the project at all until it's finished. Like AM2R, where it was just released, people got hold of it, and then it was taken down. Though we later found out that the main reason they took it down is because they were doing their own Metroid 2 remake. Okay, there's the space station. Team SCU presents. Huh? Prime2D? There goes the Mega Ridley. Or is it Meta Ridley? I think a Mega Ridley is the one that appears in Metroid Fusion. Atmospheric conditions are severe, hostile radar systems detected. Target has been lost. Recommending travel on foot. Yeah, so we're skipping over the space station because that ends with Ridley showing up and then Samus chasing him down to the planet after losing all of her upgrades by tripping. So here we are with the Prime version of the Hunter ship. And the Prime version of Samus's unupgraded suit. So yeah, we can just freely aim in this, which is something that none of the other 2D Metroids have. And I guess you couldn't really do that without mouse controls, because I was going to say that this doesn't have controller support right now, but that's probably because it would be a pain in the ass to aim with otherwise. Also funny because Prime itself did not have free aim like this until the Wii release of Prime Trilogy. Yeah, this is Tallon IV. It's got a pretty nice looking art style. It's very layered. You can see, there's the background there, then there's another background in front of it, then there's the rock, then there's the tree, and then there's the stuff here. So, a lot of layers going on. And we can switch to the scan visor. That's another thing they've brought over from Prime, which was a pretty big part of the game, is being able to scan everything for lore. New entry added to logbook. Name, gunship. Info. Stand above to record your progress and restore your suit to full capacity. This Hunter-class gunship is equipped with cutting-edge navigation systems and multiple weapons. Their use is not presently advisable, as hostile sentient presence has been detected in isolated clusters across the planet. Travel on foot is recommended to remain unseen. New entry added in the logbook, gunship. Yeah, so we can go around and scan things. I did actually like scanning stuff in Prime. I know some people are like, extra lore that I have to read. I don't want that. I have always found it funny that Samus's ship just looks like her face. That seems a little vain, even though I don't think she designed her own ship. Is her ship Chozo designed? That's a piece of the lore I feel like I don't know. Should probably just run around with this thing out. Okay, it even has a little icon from Prime that tells you when you can scan something. Data received. These edible flowers, originally known as red opal fruits, bloom seasonally in damp conditions. They are not native to Tallon IV, and were likely brought here by the Chozo. A juvenile tradition among Chozo youth is removing the outer skin with only one's beak. So I wonder how much of this is just taken directly from scans in the game, because I don't remember everything you can scan. Door can be opened with a light, concussive, or energy-based blast. So I was going to say, I guess they didn't bring in the Tallon track, but if I remember correctly, that doesn't actually play until you've explored around a bit. It's quiet until you enter the first big area. Oh, this is a map. I think I have to scan it? New entry added to logbook, map station. This machine is currently offline. Its purpose appears to be in monitoring activity of the local area. It has compiled geometric data from its most recent sweeps, but this data is currently unavailable without power. Okay. So, I don't think I can turn that on from in here. Like I said, it's been a long time since I played Prime, so I don't actually remember, like, exactly what you need to do at the start. I just remember that the first place we end up going is the Chozo Ruins. That's like the first distinct area, whereas I kind of remember these things. I don't remember them having super homing balls, though. Oh, yep, I remember this grass that grabs your feet, too. I wanted to scan it, but it's going to kill me before I do. Seedling. Despite their colloquial name, these oviparous creatures do not produce seeds. Their projectiles are hardened from a rapid chemical reaction and used solely for defensive purposes. Seedlings are otherwise composed of tissue and symbiotically related fungi, sustained by leisurely ingesting moss and plants from surfaces. So we don't have the charge beam yet. So all we really have is the scan visor and the gun. Tangleweed. This variety of invasive flora has motor functions enabling constant movement. The stems have sticky glands which ensnare and inhibit their prey, allowing them to gradually draw nutrients. If the mechanosensory ion channels detect any environmental stress, this plant will retract into its root network. So you can shoot it and it'll go away. So yeah, I'm gonna remember like bits and pieces of this. Okay, this is what leads to the end of the game. This area here. I think. This leads to the Chozo, like, shrine. Artifact Temple. Decrypting Space Pirate Journal. The temple we discovered is clearly of Chozo design. How do they make it float like this? We had to install this bridge just to access it. Mining Crew X6 was unable to bore through the stone here, and some of that team said they had seen a similar stone back in the Zabizian ruins. The running theory is a nanoshield technology beyond our understanding. Upper management got increasingly impatient with this project, sending a heavy weapons unit which also failed to make a scratch. Could have told them that would happen. Meanwhile, our primary Chozo history scholars have identified a mechanism by which we might disable this infuriating shield system, a key shape projected as a hologram here. Management chastised our teams for incompetence and progressing. They reassigned us elsewhere and concluded that the path of least resistance would be to find that key. We would have told them to shut their beaks, but I suspect none of us wants to be chucked into the crater below. Yeah, so another thing that Prime did was actually add, like, characterization to the space pirates. They have a bunch of little, like, inter-bureaucratic shit going on between them, too. Though I still wonder how exactly they write when they have weird claws for hands. Okay, we also can't ledge grab, which makes sense. But yeah, this crater is, you know, this is our end game goal, is to get all the keys to access this. A hologram is projected around a small storage device. The technology is of Chozo origin. Due to intermittent rifts in space-time, the data cannot be determined. Mysterious artifact acquired. Analysis indicates that 12 artifacts are needed to activate this temple. Alert. Rogue data has attached itself to your suit. Oh wait, I can actually ledge grab. Oh, there we go, we got the power grip. So that wasn't a thing in Prime, because it was first person, you couldn't really do the ledge grabs. I don't know how long this demo is either. This door appears to be caution tape. Passage is blocked. The material is impervious to all known weapon systems. A sticky note is attached which states, under construction. So I think that is an area that's just not accessible in the demo. The Declaration. Interpreting embedded Chozo glyphs. The final guardian would be aided by 3. The Harbinger, the second architect, now known as the final architect, and the final master. We, the Chozo, knew not of what they sought to achieve in secrecy until that fateful day. Our ears were blessed by heavenly chorus. A glimpse of the great city was finally seen. Some of us rejoiced, and some of us were doubtful. We knew not what to expect from the great ones. All we knew was that they were the very essence of the city, and so they would be remembered that way. There's a bunch of Chozo history on the wall here. Traces of brimstone detected in material near this site. Topography may shift in response to explosive force. Okay. So we can blow that up with a missile, which we don't have yet. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing anything here in this demo beyond what we just did. All we can really see from up here is the top of the statues. Oh, there's another. That's the Declaration again. All right, now let's go left. I don't think I can get this health until I have the charge beam. Well, there we go. Since you can draw in power-ups like that with the charge beam. All right, might as well save while we're here. Had to find the spot. But yeah, this seems very cool so far. Getting more 2D Metroid games is something that I think a lot of people are after, because there's no real guarantee that they're going to keep making those. They did Samus Returns, but who knows if that sold well enough for them to be like, maybe we should stop ignoring the series again. Metroid is like one of Nintendo's mistreated children. Unlike the larger sacs, which may grow on the same stalks, these radiant arachnauts contain no sap. Instead, they allure local gnats and flies, which bind to a surface adhesive and quickly degrade into nutrients. There's that music. Beetle. This species of hexapod insect is capable of piercing through solid materials with its crustacean-like beak. Despite its hypogean nature, it possesses wings which facilitate lateral speed and altitude gain upon subterranean eruption. Tallon beetles are not ordinarily aggressive. Environmental abnormalities are most likely the cause of their current unnatural behavior. I'll try not to scan every single thing in this demo, not because I'm not interested, but I don't want it to all be just text. I know some people are not interested in the fungi of Tallon IV. While this species of fungus is known to thrive in dark and damp conditions, a novel strain has adapted for an additional environmental factor: high energy radiation. It processes the rays into energy and emits this excess as visible light. Like, yeah, if it was just from me playing, I would read all of these, but recording this demo, I don't want it to go too long just because I was reading stuff. This was kind of unplanned, this demo, until it popped up yesterday. That's why I didn't really have it factored into my schedule for keeping up with the Aliens April stuff. Still, in a way, this kind of fits the theme, considering that the original Metroid was heavily inspired by Alien. Blast caps are adept at harnessing toxins and environmental hazards for use as energy. Recent increases in planetary radioactivity may have yielded growing numbers of this fungus. Its biochemical processes are delicate and pressurized, and any internal rupture will cause a violent and deadly explosion. To avoid this fate, a blast cap will rattle to ward off nearby motion. Please don't come near me or I'll have to explode. Alright, so this should be the Chozo Ruins. It's gonna be interesting seeing how they try to, align a 3D map to be 2D. Transport to Chozo Ruins West has been activated. Oh right, I forgot about the elevator room, so I guess that makes it a little easier to connect stuff up, since these are essentially loading points between levels. What is that? What is drifting down? The discrepancy in the color of this leaf is due to the environmental toxins rather than any significant genetic variation. Analysis concludes that this leaf must have fallen far from its original stem. From certain angles, a pattern of grooves can be seen in the stone. This inner clay has a 73% increase in acoustically reflective attributes relative to the outer surface. See, these are fascinating details that you want to know. Trace amount of toxins found in foliage in this location. There is a lot of stuff to let you know, like, hey, something's pretty wrong with the wildlife here on Tallon IV. Something is poisoning them. Scaffolding throughout the shaft above is structurally sound, but slightly malleable over long duration. The surrounding vines could potentially ensnare and deform the metal, but the lights appear to suppress the localized growth. Alright, let's head down to the ruins. I'm gonna guess that this demo at least goes to the first boss of the ruins, which is not too far in. Huh. Bit of a sandstorm here. I can't remember if that's the case when you first arrive at Chozo Ruins. I think I'm gonna replay Metroid Prime. Get it working on Dolphin. There's actually a special branch of Dolphin just for playing the Prime trilogy in the best possible way. So maybe I'll do a video on revisiting Prime. And then maybe a first impressions on Prime 2, because, like I said, I've never really played Echoes, even though I own a physical copy of it. Alright, the sandstorm has subsided. The Chozo lore walls. I do remember these. They glow until you scan them. The Golden Age. Interpreting embedded Chozo glyphs. Upon reaching our promised home, a golden age of peace and prosperity would manifest. Many a Chozo sought to contribute to the great city envisioned by the founder. Those who could not were ensured solace until the time of enlightenment. The word spread quickly among us of the virtue of the founder and his aspirations. Despite being one of us, he was revered as if he were more. In our folly, we, the Chozo, sought to imitate him in ventures that would ultimately lead to failure. We would soon be rejuvenated, however, as it is during this time that the founder would begin to manifest his vision. He chose one to be by his side, one without whom the founder could not succeed, the Guardian. So, Part of the lore of Metroid Prime is that Tallon IV was once home to a basically hippie spin-off group of Chozo who decided to embrace nature over technology, even though they still use advanced technology, but they integrate it into the environment. I don't know what that is. Is that the Morphball? I love that they have, you know, a range of animation that goes all the way around with the arm cannon. Nope, can't reach that. Okay, that leads inside. I think there's a save room around here too. Okay, that's under construction as well. So yeah, I think those are going to be the limits of our demo, is these under construction doors. I know I can destroy these nests, but I believe we need missiles for that. Wasp Hive. This hive is the visible abdomen of a burrowing Tallon Queen wasp, which births and nurtures the war wasps. This organism gradually secretes chemicals which harden into a durable insulation. Analysis indicates this reinforcement mesh can be weakened with explosive force. So we can blow those up with a missile. This, that right there, that might be a Morphball Tunnel. Right here. But we can't go in it because we don't have the Morphball yet. I think I'm going to save the Chozo lore, considering it is just verbatim from the original game. It's not like I'm ignoring the writing of the team. I kind of remember this room, like the layout. Man, I even just noticed that they have the danger sensor on the left side of the HUD. Small energy refill. Scarab. These territorial beetles prefer to live in dark isolation, but they will swarm together if a collective threat is perceived. Their emergent behavior as a superorganism attempts to coat the invader with acidic residue. Recent environmental toxins have made this poison more hazardous. Sure, I just need to blast the group and they will eventually dissipate. I remember this being kind of easier in the original though. Let's just go through them. Fairly dark in here. Oop, landed in the acid. So this room I also remember. It's interesting to be able to kind of visualize those same rooms in this different layout. Like I can still picture them kind of from this 2D version. And this is another map room. Also offline. The Age of Silence, interpreting embedded Chozo glyphs. For many years would the third guardian persevere. Slowly he would make progress, even if it fell upon deaf ears and blind eyes. We, the Chozo, were blessed to see his most recent creation, but we were not yet invigorated, having suffered so much loss and betrayal. More years of silence followed as the work of the third guardian continued. It is during this time that we would record all of the past events in an effort to document the history of the city. His solitude would continue until a new architect came to reunite some of us in building the city. The architect and his followers ultimately decided it would be better to abandon the work of the Third Guardian and start anew once again. This embedded glass panel emits light rays through a phosphor lining. A low-frequency electromagnetic signal can be traced to a matching device on the opposing wall, which appears to use incoming photons as both visual data and photovoltaic energy. Sorry, where is the matching one? Alright, well, I don't think we can activate this map station yet. Plasmite. This winged insect's metabolism uses endothermic reactions to store and transmit heat. Thorax is home to myriad strains of bioluminescent bacteria which expel trace amounts of gaseous chemicals. No acute threat is detected from plasmites, but effective long-term exposure are unknown. I think these are just like fireflies. These crates are a common galactic technology for containing various materials and technology. These crates in particular. The contents are preserved and relatively secure, although heavy weaponry may be able to shatter the metallic scaffold. So I don't actually remember what the first ability you get is. Oh, it's very dark in here. I like the glow on her suit there. Oh, we can actually kind of light it up by shooting. Aww. Missile expansion. Approach this icon to upgrade your missile capacity. Well, we don't have missiles yet, so I don't know if we can get that. Hive Mecha. This drone facilitates multiple stages of wasp incubation, including artificial selection for various attributes. The motors allow 2 degrees of freedom, rotation, and motion along the vertical axis, allowing it to connect directly with the material storage unit beneath. Similar to natural wasp hives, when it senses a threat, it will launch an offensive, though it does require significant venting time after a swarm is released. When exposed, the internal piping lined with red lights is weak to your weapons. The mecha can be disarmed if only 3 of its chambers are destroyed. However, analysis indicates complex transformative mechanisms linked with the 4th chamber. Proceed with caution. Yeah, so this is the first boss. I don't know if we're gonna have to fight it here. I love the boss theme for this boss. Okay, the room fills up with acid. So is the camera gonna like fixate on what I need to deal with first? Because I can't really like look over there right now. This is an interesting difference. I remember the Hive Mecha being a lot skinnier. And it was kind of like in the center of this platform instead of off to the side. Also, I think it had flamethrowers. I may be thinking of a different boss. So is that 2 chambers down? Ooh, that is a lot of wasps. Oh boy. Thankfully, they don't all come at me at once. They take turns in, like, Space Invaders formations. So I think this is unique from the original boss fight, like this whole formation thing they do. But again, it's totally okay if they take some liberties with making these more suited to the 2D format. I'm not like, no, you have to perfectly accurately recreate everything exactly as it was, even if that doesn't make sense. there's still a lot of wasps left. I like how none of their attack patterns seem to be to fly directly at you. Like, they come in the Castlevania Medusa formation. Alright, that's all of them. Oh no. I didn't hit it enough. It should transform after we destroy this last one into its final phase. Boy, there's a lot of clicking involved in this fight, though. That it? You done? You can open up? Nope. Okay. This is new. Maybe it's not new. Maybe I just don't remember at all, but I'm pretty sure it's new. Don't want to be in the goop. This looks like the security drone from Metroid Fusion. I wonder if that's what it's based on. Alright, we are weakening it because it's turning orange. I wish all these health packs weren't so high up. I like that they actually expanded on the fight to make it a more complex one, though, because it was a pretty basic fight in the original. He's got to be, like, a couple hits left. We need to kill these wasps for health at this point. I mean, he's a little maybe too durable for the first boss. But that was alright. That was a decent change. And now we get missiles. I suppose as the first expansion tank, it just gives us missiles. Missile launcher acquired. Okay. Right-click to fire missiles. Your supply is limited, but can be replenished. So I think we only start off with 5? No, 10 on the right there. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a little sooner than I expected it to happen. E-tank acquired. So that's a second health bar. And that was it. I wonder if there is more stuff I could have done in the ruins if I looked around a bit. You know, other areas that were accessible. But yeah, that was a good demo. It went from a project I had never heard of to one that I'm looking forward to. Even if it'll probably be in development for a few more years. But that's fine. Take the time, finish the project, and do it the way you want it done. AM2R was, again, just as a Metroid fan project, it turned out to be really fun. And I probably will LP it someday if I ever get around to LPing the Metroid games. That's another one that I've been thinking of. One of the series that I like that I've been thinking of revisiting or visiting for once on my channel. Because, you know, when there's a bunch of game series that you like, you want to have at least a few entries of them on your channel, I think. So I'd like to do, like, Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake of the first Metroid. Maybe do an LP of that, because it's one of the ones I have played, and then from there, maybe Super Metroid, which I haven't played, even though I know it's considered one of the best. Alright, so that's 20% items. Yeah, maybe I'll load this up again, and if there is a little bit more to see, a couple other doors or whatever, we'll just tack that on to the end of the video. But if not, thank you for joining me for Prime2D. Hope you think this project is cool, and maybe you'll check it out on your own. Till next time, take care, everyone.